Hello, this is Valerie Aiello, and you are listening to IdeaDiary. Thanks for coming back to my office and hanging out. All right, today I wanted to talk about 10 things that I've learned or kind of keep in my mind after doing 85 shows. I've learned to be aware of some annoying things that I do. And I just wanted to share these 10 things. I'm not beating myself up over doing them. I'm just being aware of them and trying to stop them. And I do think I'm getting better slowly as I record more shows. But really, it's just about being aware of it. And then I'm also aware of when I do these things in person now. And I'm also really aware when people do these things when I'm watching videos, and I never even thought about it at all before. I feel like I'm kind of ruined because I'll just be watching or listening to a podcast or watching a YouTube video, and I hear the smacking of the lips constantly, even on major mainstream television shows and different interviews. So it's like this smacking of a lip sound that people do. I guess you do it to kind of suck up the spit a little bit so that you're not spitting as you're talking. I think maybe your mouth gets a little moist, and then you kind of close your mouth to swallow, and then you end up smacking your lips before you start the next sentence. And it's so annoying, and I'm sorry if I'm ruining you by telling you about it, but it's something when you're editing video, you just notice it and you're like, trying to edit out all those lip smacks, and it's annoying, and I do it probably not any more than a normal person, but I do it, and I am trying to stop, and I think I have slowed it down a bit. I don't think I do it as much anymore. The second thing is I try not to breathe out of my nose when I'm talking. This microphone really picks it up. I do like this microphone, but I'm noticing as I'm recording with it, I would probably like an upgrade. And I wouldn't upgrade if I wasn't actually doing a show all the time. A lot of times people will buy fancy equipment before they're ready. And I've done that plenty of times in my life. And I just know sometimes it's worth it so that you learn a little bit at a higher level. But also, you really need to use it. You don't want to buy something fancy and just let it sit in your closet or sit on a shelf. So I think, and I've used this microphone probably 20 years. It's the Rode Podcaster mic, and I got it as a Christmas present to record music, just as a USB mic to kind of do bedroom albums, but pretty much anything I need it for, I've always pulled it out, and now it just kind of hangs out in my space, just out and about all the time because I use it every day. So now I know if I did want to upgrade a microphone, I will be upgrading. I don't know what I would get, but I'm a pretty good shopper when it comes to value and the highest quality things, so at least with technology that I use. So I'll probably upgrade that. But breathing a lot close to the mic, I think I didn't even realize I did it until I realized it, and I'm definitely not doing it as much anymore. But the breathe ins and the breathe outs of my nose is something that happens. So I think somehow subconsciously I'm controlling it a little bit more because I don't have to edit it out as much, because when you hear a big breath, it sounds kind of weird. I don't know how they do it on fancy podcasts. I think they must just edit out everything crazy. I don't know. Or maybe they don't have those problems. I have no idea, but I definitely have those two issues. Number 3 is get to the point fast. So I think I realized I would have a hard time starting a video because I felt like, well, I need to introduce myself and I need to kind of ease into the conversation so it feels a little bit more natural. But that's really not good. I've kind of got to I had to learn how to just jump in and start talking. That did not come naturally, and I'm still not good at it. So I think I'll definitely get better with that. And I think it's a more professional approach when it comes to radio or videos. Get to the point fast. So I'm learning that. Number 4, whenever I make a mistake, I pause for a longer break so that when I am editing, when I see that long pause, I just know to yank it out. So it makes the editing process a little bit faster. So if I make a mistake, I just pause for a little bit of a longer moment than normal. And then I can visually see it in the audio feed. And I just know, okay, I'm going to quickly edit that out. And then I think it makes for a better transition instead of if I fumble on a word and then I'm trying to edit it out in this really short amount of time. It doesn't really work as well as if I just stop talking, then restart. So number 5, enunciation. I don't know if I have a speech impediment or what it is, but I think my enunciation isn't the greatest. So I'm working on that. And that's also, I guess, with talking fast and enunciation kind of goes hand in hand. So I think I'm learning how to speak more calmly and try to enunciate, but I'm definitely not perfect yet. But I feel like it's one of those things that it will get there. I think that's maybe how newscasters, how they don't speak like normal people when the camera's on. I think you kind of learn that, and that comes from just learning how to enunciate so well and to break at weird times. There's something to enunciation that you have to learn to be able to speak well, especially for a podcast when there's only audio involved. I feel like, that's something I think about and I'm working on. So number 6 is if I feel like I'm rambling or I'm losing the point or I'm just going off into some tangent that has nothing to do with anything, I just immediately stop and I just get back on track, take a long pause, and then restart again, because it's easier if I feel like, okay, well, I'll leave that little chunk in. I guess it kind of makes sense, or it's not long enough to edit out. But I think I can notice it in my brain that I'm rambling, and then I can take a pause, know that when I'm editing, and then I can either take a chunk out or leave it in. But I think the important part is when I'm just like, I'm stopping my brain from going into crazy lady land. And then I'm just stopping myself and getting back on target, which is sometimes hard because some of the shows I'm just kind of improvising, going with the flow, just turning on the camera and talking. So it's just something that I have to think about, trying to make sense, trying to communicate well, and stopping if I feel the ramble. Number 7 is when I'm doing this, I'm kind of imagining I'm talking to one person, and one person that I like or I know likes me, someone that I know that appreciates me for who I am. And I don't think of this is going out to the whole world and there's going to be hundreds of people listening or even 20 people listening. I don't think about that. I think about just the one person that really likes me, and that helps me, I guess, smile on the inside and feel more confident, and just helps me to show up and keep it going. So number 8 is the transitional phrases. That's my biggest thing that I have a hard time with. I say, so, anyway, know what I mean? And, yeah, I say all those words about 5,000 times in every single video, and I can't stop it. So I don't know if it eventually goes away, but I'm sure that I do that in person constantly too. So I know that it's really probably annoying. It's also hard because I know sometimes you have to say those words to transition into the next sentence in a normal way. So I just know I'm aware of it. I try to stop it. I can edit out a lot of them because I think it's something that I do when I'm thinking about the next sentence or the next thought. I just throw in these buts and anyways and so's, and it's very annoying, but I'm learning. I may never get over it, but luckily I can edit them out. I don't know how I would behave in a live situation. I think I would maybe super be thinking about that and try not to do that. But then I'd be afraid. I don't know. We'll see how it goes if I ever go live or if I'm interviewing someone else and it's just, I say it a million times. I don't know if I can stop, but I just have to live with myself and be happy with it, I guess, if it never does. Number 9 is if I start a sentence and I fumble my words, I'll do a pause and then restate it. Or if I know if I said a word wrong, instead of normally as you're speaking, you just kind of move on. But when you're recording, now, I know I can edit it out and say the word correctly. I will stop, pause, say the word again, and then keep talking. And that happens really fast. It's not even something you really think about. So the 10th annoying thing that I do, and I'm learning not to, is I will say half a sentence and then I'll stop my train of thought. And in the middle of the sentence, I'll shift into another sentence. And it's very annoying. A lot of times it doesn't make sense. Sometimes I can't edit it out because I've said it all too fast. And it would, if I edit it out, then the whole sentence sounds weird. My friend was telling me that my edits are kind of jarring, which I'm sure they are. I'm not doing like high quality editing right now. I'm just kind of doing it fast and dirty so that I can keep working and keep practicing. The saying the half a sentence and then having a thought and then transitioning in mid-sentence to another sentence is something that I know that I do when it's happening. It's a lot of times happening way too fast for me to even slow down, but sometimes I can catch it. I can go back to the train of thought, to what I was originally saying, or finish the sentence, go back to the thought that I was having when I interrupted myself. And that's a really hard thing to explain, so I don't know if that's making any sense at all. But those are 10 things that I'm learning, recording a show every day and uploading and practicing speaking into the microphone, practicing having a show all by myself with no one to talk to. And that alone is a weird thing to do. It doesn't come natural for me at all, but I'm doing it. I'm showing up, and it's actually pretty easy. And I hope everyone who has a business of any kind that wants to connect to anyone and customers and anyone building a brand, I think should have a daily show, a 5-minute daily show, a 10-minute, 15-minute max. Unless you're super, super good, I would say everyone should have a daily podcast. Even if it's just Monday through Friday, not every single day, I think that's totally fine too. But something that really shows your personality. It builds trust. I feel like if you are watching somebody grow and build and caring about how other people see them and what they're doing and sharing their world, I think doing it in a show way, it's much more thoughtful and it's much more personal. And I feel like it's more intellectual. It's at least more intellectually stimulating than, say, posting on Instagram or posting on Facebook. I think a blog has a similar deepness to it because you have to write a good amount of stuff to try to connect to somebody. And I guess blogs can be shallow too, but I think at least for a personal brand, and I would go even far as to say as a major brand, any major brand, like if you're a Cadillac CEO, anyone. It was kind of like the new rock star for a moment. The new celebrity was the CEO. And I feel like we're in such a shift. I don't know what's cool anymore or what's happening anymore. I have ideas of what's out. Like I feel like Instagram and Facebook are out. YouTube, podcasting, and I would say something like a medium.com. Those things are going to become more mainstream. That's not just for the talented people that want to be on camera anymore. I feel like it's going to be more of a normal thing. And even more so, it's about monetizing your social media. I think the days of providing free content for sites are kind of over. I think TikTok is probably the last one to do that. But even with TikTok, they have I think a tipping platform where you can get money as you're posting. inside the app, so you don't have to come up with some other scheme to make money with your social media. So I would say TikTok is actually, you can make money off of that inside the app as it's created. I feel like that's the focus. So learning how to speak to the camera, speak into a microphone. If you're not into speaking, learning how to write really well. I don't even know if it has to be written well or if it just needs to be writing that connects to somebody, whatever that means in the writing world. Talking into a microphone is an important task. So here are 10 things that I've learned along the way of bad traits that I do, and maybe that can help you in some sort of shortcut way. So when you get started or as you're learning like me. Anyways, I'll see you later. I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just going to play the music.